So the other day we talked about mean, and another word for that, if you remember, is the average. So when I calculate your scores for math class or any other teacher does it, basically we're adding all of your scores and then we're dividing it by how many tests or quizzes you took, and that's how you find your average. The actual word for it, though, is the mean. So that's what we talked about the other day. Today we're going to do median, mode, and range. I think these are a lot easier and faster to calculate. That's why I'm doing 3 in one day. So the median is the number in the middle of the data. So a way that I remember this one is that when you're driving down the highway, like if you're on 95 and there's that big patch of grass that separates the northbound from the southbound on the highway, that's actually called the median, and it's in the middle of the highway. So that's how I remember that the median is in the middle. So what you do is you take all of your data and you order it from least to greatest. This is a very important step, so make sure you don't forget to do that, because if you just find the number in the middle and it's not in order from least to greatest, it's not really the number in the middle. So you order it least to greatest, you find the number in the middle by crossing out a number on each side till you get to the middle, and then that would be your median. If there's an even amount of numbers, and that means there's going to be 2 numbers in the middle. If that happens, you find the mean of them, or the average of them, which means you would add them together and then divide it by 2 because there's 2 numbers. So let's take a look at this one here. You guys can kind of do it with me. So it says find the median. Step 1 is I have to order these least to greatest. So that's going to be 5, and then it looks like 7, and then 8. So you guys can do this one with me. And then 10. Okay, and then what? 12, 16, and 17. So 12, 16, 17. Okay, so now I have them in order from least to greatest. So now what you do is you cross out a number on each side until you get to the middle. So cross out a 5, cross out a 17, cross out 7, cross out 16, cross out 8, cross out 12, and now I have the number in the middle. So my median is 10. Okay, if there were 2 numbers in the middle, I would add those 2 numbers together and divide it by 2. But this time there's only 1, so I didn't have to do that. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second so I can clean this up, and then we'll do the rest of them. Okay, so the next thing is the mode. The mode is the number that appears the most. So I remember mode and most because they have the same amount of letters and they kind of almost sound similar. So mode and most. So what you do is you look at your data and you figure out what number or numbers appear more than any other number. So there can be no mode. If every number appears the same amount of times, then there's no mode. There can be more than one mode if there are 2 or more numbers that appear the same amount of times. So let's take a look at this one. We want to see if there's a mode. So we're looking at all of our numbers, and there's 3 7s. So that means 7 is going to be the mode because it appears more than any other number. Let's pretend for 1 second, though, that there was like an extra 30. 30 would still not be the mode. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, it would be because there is another 30. I didn't even realize that. So scratch what I just said. There's 2 30s. So even though there's 2 30s, so there's more 30s than some of the other numbers, there's still more 7s than there are 30s. So that means 7 would be the only mode. So mode is just the number that you have the most. There can be more than one mode, or there could be no modes. Again, the only way to have like 2 modes would be if, for example, there were 3 30s and 3 7s. The next part is the range. I find this to be the easiest one. All you do is find the largest number in the data, the smallest number in the data, and subtract them. So for this one, looks like the largest number is 20, smallest number is 4. So you would just do 20 minus 4. So your range would be 16. So it's just largest minus smallest. So just to recap, the median is the number in the middle, and the most important step is to order them least to greatest, and then cross out left and right till you get to the middle. If there are 2 numbers in the middle, add them up and divide by 2, and that would be your median. Mode is the number that appears the most. There could be 1 mode, there could be no modes, there could be multiple modes. Range is the biggest number minus the smallest number. Okay, so we're going to try some on the big ideas.